Frightmare on Maple Lane is a feature film for Season 1 of Final Girl where you'll be fighting against Dr. Fright the Dream Doctor in the friendly neighborhood of Maple Lane. In this scenario, Dr. Fright can only hurt you in your sleep, and when you take a rest action, you'll fall asleep and enter the boiler room. You'll also have to convince neighbors to let you in their house to search for items. In this video, I'll go over the special rules for Maple Lane and Dr. Fright and clarify some commonly misplayed rules and cards. If you want a general overview of how to play Final Girl, then check out my rules video before you watch this one. Set up the Maple Lane location as normal, except you'll need to make 4 item decks of 3 cards each instead of the usual. Also add the 2 convince cards to the action tableau. Dr. Fright comes with a special boiler room deck of cards. Shuffle the 4 cards and place them face down off to the side. Add the awake card to the top of the deck. Maple Lane has a new type of map space called a house, and it's colored orange because you can search it for items just like a search space. Each house belongs to one of 4 quadrants on the map, which each correspond to one of the item decks: northwest, northeast, southeast, and southwest. When you search a house, you search the item deck for that quadrant, but each house can only be searched once, so place an X token on the house afterwards. Empty houses can be entered and searched just like a normal search space, but if there's victims in the house, then you have to use the Convince action card to enter it from the connected street space. There are 2 copies of Convince that start in the action tableau, and they cost 1 time to purchase. Unlike other action cards, the Convince action has a line for 3 successes. If you get 3 successes, you can enter the adjacent house and automatically take the top item card without having to search separately for it. 1 and 2 successes still lets you enter the house, but you do not get an item, and a fail gives you 2 choices: either enter the house, lose a heart, and end the action phase, or return the Convince card to the action tableau and lose 1 time. All the houses in Maple Lane are considered inside spaces, and all the non-houses are outside spaces. The outside spaces are also called streets, the center space is the intersection, and there are 4 exit spaces along the edge of the map. There are no special rules for these spaces, but some tarot cards and events will refer to them. That's everything for Maple Lane, so let's look at Dr. Fright. He is the Dream Doctor and can only attack you when you're asleep. You start the game awake and can do all actions like normal, except you can't attack him. He can't attack you either, but he can attack victims still. His default killer action targets the closest victim or Final Girl, but if you are awake, treat this as the closest victim. If a tarot card targets the Final Girl like this one, then he will still move towards you, but he can't attack you. However, if there's a victim in his space when he ends his movement, he will still attack them. Some tarot cards will cause you to fall asleep like this one. Playing the short rest or long rest cards during the action phase will also force you to sleep. When you fall asleep, take the stack of boiler room cards with the awake card on top, move it to the bottom, and then flip the stack over. You should now see the asleep card on top with an important reminder that when you are asleep, victims will not follow you and cannot be saved until you wake up. But you can still move around the board and search for items as usual. And most importantly, you can now attack Dr. Fright. You must be on the same space as him to use an attack action or range 0 weapon like usual, and now when he resolves his default killer action, he can attack you if he's on your space. When you are asleep, you must resolve 1 boiler room card at the end of the killer phase. So Dr. Fright will do his killer action, then you'll flip a tarot card, and finally you'll resolve a boiler room card. To do this, you slide the deck of cards either up, down, left, or right to reveal the next boiler room card. The first time you do this, you'll slide only the asleep card in one of these directions until you can see half of the card below it. The second time, you'll slide both the asleep card and the one you previously revealed in one of the 4 directions until you can see half of the next card. For the third time, you'll slide all previously revealed cards until you see the third card. And the 4th time, you'll do the same. Notice that depending on how you slide the cards, you'll usually reveal half of the next one, but sometimes you'll only reveal a quarter. This is okay. After the 4th and final boiler room card is revealed, you wake up, so reset the deck by shuffling all the cards face down and putting the awake card back on top. So why are you doing this? Because each of the boiler room cards have Dr. Fright in one of the 4 quadrants, and if you reveal him, he immediately attacks. It doesn't matter if he's in your space on the board, he's always able to reach you in the boiler room and does 1 attack immediately. You can defend with reaction cards and items as normal, otherwise you take damage indicated by the current bloodlust level, just like a normal attack. After you resolve exactly one boiler room card, the killer phase ends and you move to the panic phase. You do have control over how long you stay asleep though, and you can choose to resolve as many boiler room cards as you want during the action phase for free. Each time you reveal Dr. Fright on a card, you'll take an attack, but after the deck is empty, you wake up and will be protected from his attacks again. Note that you don't have to resolve any boiler room cards during the action phase if you don't want to, but you must resolve one at the end of the killer phase. That's all the special rules for Dr. Fright in Maple Lane, so now I'm going to go over some frequently misplayed rules and cards. First is the event card, Party in the Burbs, which instructs you to place 4 new victims in any house that contains at least one victim. You choose one and only one house that contains at least one victim already and add 4 new victims there. You do not add them to every house with a victim because that would be ridiculous. Next is the Officer Kopp event, which brings the cop car onto the exit space of your choice, and each turn it'll move 1 space in a straight line until it reaches the opposite exit. Along the way, he will pick up victims in his space and they will move with him toward the exit and then be saved. The cop car is not restricted to the normal rule of only 2 victims following the final girl, and so Officer Kopp can have any number of victims following him. If he happens to move onto the killer's space, they will also follow him, and the killer can also kill victims in his space just like normal. Next are some finale and dark power cards, so spoilers are ahead if you want them to be a surprise during gameplay. First is the dark power card Never Really Dead. When this is revealed, immediately return Dr. Fright's final health token to the supply and replace it with a white one. Then if he ever loses his final health token, reveal 3 black ones from the supply and restore his health accordingly. This is only done once and gives him a better chance of coming back to life. If you kill him a second time, you win the game. Last is the finale card, Everyone Must Die. When this card is revealed, you take Dr. Fright off the board and place him on this card. You can now attack Dr. Fright from anywhere when you are asleep. Dr. Fright is basically everywhere and nowhere all at once, so you can use normal attacks, weapons, and even ranged weapons to attack him like the rifle, but because he's not on the board, he won't be able to trigger any traps that you've placed. Alright, and that's how you play Frightmare on Maple Lane. Let me know in the comments what you think of this feature film and how you'd rate it compared to the others in Season 1. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to me on YouTube. If you want to check out more of my videos, then click the links on the screen and maybe you'll find a new game to play. And with that, Michael Skeleton is out.